to create two VMs, right? So what we will do is just click on launch instances. Okay, in launch instances we'll just use free tier. It doesn't require much CPU and memory. So what we will do is we won't give any name. Okay, name and tag. We'll just say we need two VMs. Okay, here I'll just create, say number of instances 2. Okay, Ubuntu 22, and we'll use T2 micro. We'll create our existing key pair. Let's allow port 80 as well. Okay, SSH and port 80 will allow, and let's have 30 GB here, and click on launch instances. Okay, so if you see, the name is not mandatory. Actually, we are just giving a tag. It just creates VMs with two numbers, like instances, instance number. So this is the instance ID 1, this is the instance ID 2. If you see, it has created two VMs. We'll see only the running ones. Okay, so it will reflect it here in some time. So I've created a two VMs. Okay, at the T2 micro, Ubuntu 22, 30 GB is the disk, and we added our key pair. Okay, so both the instances are running, but we don't know how to, which one is which one, because we won't remember it using instance ID. So just click on this icon. If you click on this icon, I can add a tag to it. Actually we are adding a tag, or you can also say name, but actually it is a tag. This will be my control. So if you so this is the link. Okay, again I will won't be able to copy it. Doesn't work here. Oh, it worked now. So courses slash Ansible. Okay, this is the link you should all follow. So when this documentation was done, it was done with respect to VirtualBox, the VM on the local laptop, but it is also applicable for instances, any VM. Okay, so in this case our VMs will be Ubuntu. So which exercise we are doing? Create an Ansible playbook. Okay, okay, sorry, it is install Ansible, create inventory file. So I'll be renaming this exercise as lab 1 and 2. So we are, as of now, just remember we are doing installation. This exercise we are doing, I suggest you also follow along with me. Okay, only this exercise we are doing, nothing else. From tomorrow we'll start writing Ansible playbooks and all. Okay, so here also ignore this VM IP address. Okay, this was for other systems, so we'll be having different IP address. Okay, so the first node which we are creating is control node, and other node is manage node. So I'll give the name as control hyphen node. I suggest you also give the same name, so we'll be on the same page. Okay, control node and manage node. So here just write control hyphen node. Okay, this is the first VM. Okay, after editing you have to click on this tick mark, otherwise it won't take it. Control node, and just click on tick mark, then it will take the name control node. Similarly here we'll say manage node, the one which will be managing from the control node, manage node. Okay, so we have two VMs, one is a control node, another one is the manage node. Okay, okay, and this, remember this private IP address, this has the private address 254, and it has private IP address 240. Okay, so maybe every day we'll have to change this, at least I think the private IP address may not change. Okay, we'll see that tomorrow. Okay, but today just remember that we may need to change these IP addresses while doing the exercises. So let's try to connect to the control node. Okay, so the control node will connect using the public IP address, this one. Or if you want, you can also connect it from here using the connect method, but for copying pasting you should have the terminal like this. Okay, then it becomes easy to copy paste the exercises. I'll just load it. I already have keys added in this configuration. Oh, copy. Just click on save and just start the. Okay, it is accepting the key. Ubuntu is the username. Okay, so we are connected to. For the timing, we need to remember with the IP address 254 until we give the host name to it. So if you see, 254 is our control node and 240 will be our manage node. So I'll open one more session. Okay, there I'll SSH to the other node, that is control node. Save it and just say open. Okay, we are connected to both the VMs. So first what we will do is we'll just set the host name for both. Remember, don't do reverse. The name should be properly done. So again 254. So we'll just use sudo command, sudo host name ctl set host name control node dot example.com and here host name ctl set host name managed node dot example.com. I forgot to add sudo. Okay, let me add this. Okay, so if you see, the host name is set but it is not reflecting host name. Okay, this is manage node, here this is control node. So if we do logout and login, okay, it will show it. So we'll do logout for both the VMs and we'll log in again. Okay, so that's why I saved it. Okay, so this one is our control node. Okay, and let's log into our manage node as well. We are connected to the both the VMs. Okay, just increase the font size. Okay, now let's follow our exercise. We have set the host name. Okay, we need to make an entry in /etc host. Okay, this is also important. So whenever we create new VMs, this is the standard steps. These are the standard steps we should always do. First, set the host name so that it becomes easy for us to distinguish the VMs. Okay, then we'll add this. Okay, in cat/etc host, just add these two lines and we'll have to change the IP addresses. Okay, on both the systems we'll do that. So I'll do sudo vi/etc host Okay. Now just add the private IP addresses. One of the method would be checking on the IPA or on the AWS console as well. Here also it will show the private IP address. Okay, so private IP address for control node itself is 1254 ending with 254. Open this file again, and here control node IP address should be changed. So tomorrow we need to check if this IP address remains same. Public IP will change. We just need to check if the private IP also will change or not. And similarly do it for the other one, that is I'll take it from here 240. Okay, I'll copy these two lines. Okay, let's do cat first. So we have done these changes. Let's copy these two lines. Let's copy it in other server. So host entry is done. Cat slash etc slash host. And if you remember, both the VMs can ping on the private IP address. Okay, not let's check if it pings or not, but at least they will be accessible. Otherwise, we'll have to add security group for ping. Okay, then ping managed node. Okay, so ping is not enabled. Okay, but still it is resolving it to this. Okay, similarly ping control node. So this is possible. Okay, this name resolution. Okay, if you see, control node is resolved to 254 because we have made this entry in cat slash etc host. Okay, this is important. So this resolution is possible due to these lines. Okay, on both the servers, and ping is disabled, that is in security group it is not allowed. So by default it's not working, but I think the SSH will work. So let's do SSH from a control node to manage node. Okay, it is asking for the password. We haven't set the password. Okay, similarly if we SSH control node, this will also not work. But from control node we will not access the manage node. Only from a manage node will be accessing the only from the control node will be accessing the manage node. Okay, so what we need to do is, we have done this earlier as well. This is important, that's why I'm showing it side by side on two screens. Okay, means to all both the screens on a same page. So using SSH keygen, this we have done earlier as well. SSH keygen -t RSA, this will generate public and private key. After using this command, just press enter couple of times. Don't use means don't add anything, just use the default options. Okay, so if you see, it is saying a public key is added here, and this is the private key. Private key will be with us, and the public key will add it on this node, so that this node can access, the control node can access the manage node. So always remember, copy the public key. So I'll just do cat. This is the simplest method. Just copy it. Just copy this key. Okay, and do cat dot ssh authorized keys. Okay, so if you see, authorized key has the key for my this laptop. Okay, so append one more key into it. Okay, we can use via editor as well if you are not comfortable, but don't use single greater than sign, use double greater than sign. This will append this line. Which one? This which I copied here. Just right click, it copied it. So the manage node has public key. Oh, did I do control D? Yeah, so it has copy. Yeah, I did control C. I should have done control D. No, it has, like, let me go inside. No, it has copied it. Okay, I did control D only. Control D to save. I'll just add one more line, and we can, anything starting with hash is a comment. I'll write control node. So in production environment we'll have many such keys, so we'll have to distinguish control node. This is a key for control node. Okay, so what I did, using SSH keygen, I generated a public key on control node. Okay, and then I copied this public key ending with .pub on SSH authorized keys on a manage node. Okay, so now what will happen, just do SSH, okay, on a manage node. It will just ask this yes for first time. Okay, and I'm connected to manage node. See, okay, I'm on a manage node now. Okay, just do control D. So only this setup we need to do. We don't need to copy from manage node to the control node key, even if it is given in this exercise. Just ignore it. Okay, we can have both the ways as well, but in this case we'll having only control node key on a manage node. Okay, so SSH keygen is given, this public key is given. Okay, now the next thing which we need to do is we need to add a user. Okay, so in this case, remember, you all do for Ubuntu user only. Okay, so what we will do is we will add our user. Okay, that is Ubuntu user in sudoers. Okay, we learned about sudoers last week, right? So that we can run some admin level commands without entering the password. Okay, so here the different username is mentioned, but in our case it will be Ubuntu. Okay, so on both the systems, actually this needs to be done only on the control node. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just do sudo su first, sudo su on manage node. Okay, so I'm into the manage node. Okay, and we can also do from Ubuntu user is itself. Okay, sudo vi sudo. Let's cross check what is the value. Maybe we may not have to do this, okay, but still. So this is, don't get confused, the sudo group is there. Okay, in sudo group what we have, which user we have, the Ubuntu user. Okay, so due to this it is able to run the sudo commands. Just to control X, no. So let's see cat /etc group and just do grep for sudo. So Ubuntu user is in sudo. Okay, Ubuntu user is a part of sudo group. And what are the permissions for sudo group? We can also see using, so it can access all the commands, but using commands, but they'll have to provide the password. Now when I do sudo su, it kept it in cache for some time and it didn't ask me for the password. But generally any user in the sudo group will be asked password when they run for sudo command. So what we need to do is we need to first add user. Remember, first add the user here, means line, add one entry here, Ubuntu. Okay, for Ubuntu user in exercise different username is given, all, and that user should be able to do this without any password. It should be able to run the sudo commands. Remember, before proceeding with the next step, first add this line only for Ubuntu user. Do control X and Y for exit. Okay, now On a manage node, remove your user. In this case, this user from sudo group. Okay, this user is added at the time of installation to sudo group. Okay, and why we need to do this? Otherwise it will keep on asking the password. Okay, and we'll be doing everything automatically and we won't be able to pass the password. That's why we are doing this. So for what is the command? Del user or user del also you can use, but we'll use del user as given in the document. This will remove the user from sudo, but just change it, don't use as it is. On only on manage node we are doing this. Okay, so what we'll do is del user, which user? Ubuntu. From sudo. Okay, now cross check if you can run any sudo command. Again, let's try sudo vi sudo and you should be able, okay, without any read only error, or just check if the sudo is working properly or not using this command. Okay, it is working. Okay, so remember, first add this line for Ubuntu user and then remove the user from sudo group. Or one of the option would be just for sudo group itself, just add this line here, modify this. Okay, but this is not recommended in production. Maybe in this group some users can be added which need password prompted. Okay, so the setup is done. Okay, and Ansible will, your Ansible labs will not work if you don't do these steps. First is passwordless SSH and second is sudo. If you don't do this properly, none of your labs will work. Okay, so first make sure that this setup is done. Okay, now on control node will install Ansible. Okay, now everything is done, we don't at all need manage node. Okay, now everything we are doing only on manage node will cross check if whatever we are exercise we are doing is done properly or not, and now we won't touch the manage node. Okay, now everything will be doing on the control node. Okay, and remember, after doing the exercise you just shut down the VM to save cost. Okay, now the first command which we will use on a control node. Okay, on control node I'm running apt-get update and apt-get install Ansible. Okay, so if you see the document, so this will install Ansible. See, it takes some a bit time, at least update will take time. Okay, so meanwhile just you all also start the exercises. Okay, create two VMs. Okay, configure passwordless SSH from control node to the manage node, and on manage node add Ubuntu user in sudoers. It is already added, but we need no passwd in it. So I think the Ansible is installed.